Moving on, before I lose my voice, we've got a lot to talk about because I have another comeback to review. This time, it's Extraordinary Heroes. I've been reviewing this group since they debuted as well. It's always fun to review a group that you've watched since day one and see where they came from and where they're going. I'm a fan. If you don't know, Extraordinary Heroes, they're a 6-member band that debuted in 2021 under JYP. They all play instruments. So this is not a boy band. There's not choreography. It's a band. So kind of like the Rose, who I reviewed on episode 1, except this is like the Rose I would liken to kind of, I don't know, indie alternative Coldplay type music. Extraordinary Heroes are a rock band. They're a harder sound. The album is called Livelock. It's 7 songs. The single is called Break the Break. So breaking like a brake of a car. That's kind of, I think, how it's spelled. This is a hard rock song. This song comes in kind of, it sounds like a fade out from the song. Like, it's really interesting the way they fade in to this hard rock song. For me, Break the Break harkens back to like an 80s hair band. There's 80s metal hairband type of sound, and that's not a bad thing. The pre-chorus here is really cool. And that part that starts with "Oh," I love that part. Love it. And then you've got this really driving rock chorus. I want some more. I want some more. Yeah, it's a good rock song. This is a good rock song. And I want to say too that the rap verses really work. The flow that the rappers use, it's kind of a sing rap, and it goes with the rhythm of the song. One of my biggest pet peeves in K-pop is when they put a rapper on like a ballad, then it didn't need to be there and it kind of takes you out of the moment. Here, this all works really well. This was perfect. So Ode and Gaon delivered. I thought they were great. For me, the star of the show, and this has become kind of the trademark of this group, it's Jooyeon and Jungsu going back and forth. They usually are the 2 vocalists on the chorus. They're the main vocalists. And the way that they go back and forth with lines, the way that they harmonize together, great. Great. They kill it. Nice guitar solo from Junhan as well. This is a good song. This is a song that I would listen to driving fast on the highway, working out. This is a really driving rock song. I really like it. This group can play. This group can play. They can really play. They're very, very talented. So it's a good single. I want to say on the whole album, the drummer, what's Gunil? Gunil. You know sorry for my pronunciation, but the drummer Gunil kills it. A good rock drummer is so valuable when you're trying to do this type of music. I think about like Tommy Lee with Motley Crue. A really good rock drummer changes the vibe, changes the tone, and can take an okay song to good, take a good song to great. On the whole album, I was like, ooh, he is killing that. So shout out to him. Amazing. Okay, the music video. They're on a runaway train, like enjoying the chaos. It looks like they're prisoners. They break out of prison. The prisoners are like beating up the guards on this like a runaway train. There's also like an Old West feel. I love at the very beginning, Jooyeon starts and he kind of like walks up towards the center with a guitar pick in his mouth. He's just a star. That guy can do something very subtle and it's a star moment. He's just a natural talent, natural it factor. Great second there. I thought all the visuals worked with this song. It's a hard, aggressive song. They all look great. And they all look great. One of the perks of reviewing these younger groups from when they debut is you see them literally grow up. You see them go from teenagers to really handsome young men. And I think these guys, they get better looking with every comeback. All 6 of them look great. They're handsome rock stars. So this really worked. I want to talk about the rest of the album though. My song picks off this album, and this is a great album. So I'm going to talk here for a second because I think Extraordinary Heroes deserves more press, more publicity, more support for this comeback. They're really, really good and they don't get a lot of attention. So, as I mentioned before, that's one of the focuses of this podcast. Of course, I'm going to talk about Stray Kids. I'm going to talk about the biggest groups in the game. But I also want to talk about other groups who aren't getting that push from their label and from the rest of media. I want to give them a shine, and groups like Xdinary Heroes deserve it. So get ready. My song picks from this album: Freddie, Pluto, Paranoid, and Again Again. So we've got to talk about Freddie. As you know, that's my dog's name. That's the mascot of this show. His name is Freddie Krueger. He's a cute little Pomeranian. If you want to see him, check out his introduction. I'll put a little link on the video. But Freddie had surgery last week. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who sent me messages of encouragement and prayers and thoughts. I was a nervous wreck. Freddie got hurt last week. We had to go to the emergency room. He had to get surgery. It's been a long couple weeks for us, but I'm here to tell you he's doing really well. He's recovering well. He's annoyed with me right now because he's trying to sleep and I'm talking and I just said his name. So, ugh. But I love that this album kicked off with a song called Freddie, and they spell it the same way that my dog's name is spelled, Freddy. This is a great opening track. I love the horns spliced in, really nice little touch. Oda's voice on that first line, it's gritty. There's some grit here, a little menacing. Yes. There's something dark and cool in the sound of this, and I love that. Of course, that chorus between Jooyeon and Jungsu, great. So good. That back and forth. You get really amazing dynamics in this group with those two as main vocalists. This song shows it. I like the phrasing, that fast phrasing. Really great. The give it up part. Lyrics are appropriate for my little guy. I'm convinced Extraordinary Heroes have been following me and know that my dog's name is Freddie because the lyrics, I love it when they say, like, I'm waiting to catch you all day. Freddie, 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 don't you know I'm ready? Even if I hid, even if I hid you in a nightmare, I'm coming for you. A nightmare like Freddie Krueger? This song was literally written for him. So thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you to the songwriters. I have a feeling Freddie might enjoy this song. I loved this. Besides the fact that it's named the same name as my dog and all of that, it's a good song. It was a great way to start the album. So I'm a fan of this one. Let's talk about Pluto. Pluto's not as driving as some of their other songs, but I like this vibe. And there's a soft pre chorus here from Jooyeon that is so pretty. Vocally, he is such a standout because he can do the rock belt that really great rock singers do. But then he also has restraint and these like soft, high, delicate notes. He has a real instrument there with his voice. He also plays bass, but the voice is such an instrument and he's so young. It's exciting to hear. Love it. So that was Pluto. Pluto has some really nice vocal moments. Then Paranoid. I want to talk about the song Paranoid. It's the softest song on the album. It's pretty, it's romantic. We've got some rockers with heart here. The melody in the verses is a little bit different. It took my ear a second to kind of get used to what was happening. Not in a bad way. It's just a little bit different. But it's kind of a soaring rock ballad. That chorus goes to a soaring rock ballad where the vocalists are shining. And the more I listened to this comeback and the more I listened to this album, the more I went back to this specific song, the more I went back to Paranoid. This is a really good song. And there's a part in the bridge where Gunsu belts. And oh my God, did I feel it? Ooh, I felt it and I felt the emotion. And I just want more of this. I just want more of that. That was such a powerful moment. I love that moment. I love this song. And after you hear this belt, this kind of moment from Gunsu, then there's this quiet, there's this breath, there's this quiet nothing. And the next line from Ode is so well placed. The dynamics of it. When I listened to it the first time, I was like, oh, wow. It's how I feel. It's such a wow moment. It's such an oh wow moment. And it really, really works. So that's a great one. I'm totally here for that. Paranoid, fantastic song. Really, really nice vocals. My last standout track is Again Again. This one has more of like an emo pop sound. I think it really works for them. I think that sound works for them. It's a lighter, kind of more fun feeling than the hard rock 80s sound. The words are fun. This just feels a little younger and fresher than the rest of the album. So I think it's a good sound. There's some vulnerability in this one. And this track kind of stuck with me. It's fun. It's youthful. And they pulled it off. They killed it. And they really seem to have fun performing this one. So it's a little bit infectious when you watch them perform it. I've got to be honest though, I was missing something from this album. And really what it is, I was missing a song like Pirates, if you know that song, or Good Enough. On this record, I don't feel like we quite got there. Paranoid has its moments, but those songs, Pirates and Good Enough, they give Jooyeon and Jungsu a chance to really open their voices, to really open the throat and show what they can do vocally. Paranoid comes close, but it's not quite there. And I think that's a shame because that's what I connect to most with this group. Those songs, I'm like, when I heard Pirates, I was blown away. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And then on the next album, we got Good Enough, which is just gorgeous and phenomenal. So I think on this one, there was a missed opportunity. I think we needed that song again. And Paranoid doesn't quite get there. The song doesn't allow them to quite get there. So that's my negative critique of this one. But I really like this album. My extraordinary hero biases, in case it's not obvious because I've talked about them all night. Gangsu is my bias and Joohyun's my wrecker. I also really love O'Day. He's always stood out to me. They're fantastic. They just announced a tour. Hopefully they come to the US. Hopefully we get to see them here in the US. I believe they're starting in Europe with some Asia dates as well. The fans are called villains, and I've got to be real with you. I've been a villain since day one. I'm a day one villain. I really, really, really like these guys. Okay, it's time for my rankings of Extraordinary Heroes Livelock album from my least favorite to my favorite. Number 7, Enemy. Number 6, Bad Chemical. My number 5 song was Pluto. Number 4, Break the Break, single, good song. My number 3 pick is Freddie. Perfect name, guys. There needs to be more songs named Freddie. Number 2, Again Again. And my number 1 song off this project, and I'm going to say by far, was Paranoid. It's a great song. I loved it. Congratulations. Congratulations to these guys. They're so good. Give them a chance if you haven't. They're really talented. If you know kind of my style and the songs that I'm into, I'm not like a hard rock type of girl. And I love this group. So maybe you're like me and this wouldn't be the music you normally gravitate towards. Give them a chance. Watch a YouTube video. They're very, very cool and they deserve a lot more attention. So congratulations to Extraordinary Heroes. This villain is proud of you. I think this was a great album.